Let's talk about the Detroit Lions doing rentals. All right, let's talk about them doing rentals on players. You know, people seen Greg Newsome from Cleveland go over to Jacksonville for Tyson Campbell, the corner. I read a little article that said, obviously, Greg Newsome, he's in a contract year, so you trade for him, either you're going to pay him. And the Lions, like, when we were talking about Sauce Gardner, Greg Newsome, and guys like that, they're not in position to pay those guys. You know, in reality, if it would have worked out the way it was supposed to work out, Terrion, and then this Rackstraw, oh my God, this damn pickup truck, man, I'm getting away from dog. Like, I don't really understand him. Like, he's just such in a fucking rush. Oh, there we go. But yeah, you start talking about Terrion and all those guys, bro. Like, if they would have worked out, you wouldn't need corners. Amik would be perfect moving around. Had they worked out their rookie years and stay healthy, then you wouldn't have had that money on DJ Reed. You know, you would have been able to take that money and probably put it towards a Josh Sweat or another pass rusher or two pass rushers. So really, you know, kind of really for them, it was really been hurting them was that second round of the draft. Whether it was Anzarike not panning out, which was a clear miss. They knew he had a back injury coming off a year where he didn't play college football. Take Josh Pascal, you knew his injury history. I mean, he's a cancer survivor. Y'all didn't know that. He was a cancer survivor. You knew his history. He was always injured. He was injured at the Senior Bowl. So you took two knowingly broken up people and it set your franchise back. Had you drafted correctly amongst them and got a good, got good players, guess what? You wouldn't have needed, to get a pass rusher right now, or you wouldn't have needed to get another interior defensive tackle right now, but they didn't do it. But every draft comes with misses, but the most head-scratching thing about Brad Holmes' misses is they blatant. Like he did an article having a soft spot for guys who had injury histories. That gotta go. If you a pimp, you got a soft spot for hoes, you ain't gonna last too long in that game. You know what I'm saying? So he gotta understand, he gotta shake that. And his Rackstraw, somebody told me he tore his ACL in college. Hey, come on, what the fuck is you doing? What are you doing? Have you put a premium or a little bit of a premium on durability, the Lions probably would have won the Super Bowl last year. You know y'all a physical, hard practicing football team. It got to be a premium on durability. It gotta be. It gotta be. So, but now you get into rentals, whether it's Trey Hendrickson, whether it was a guy like anybody in a situation like Greg Newsome, or you get in a situation where you want to take on a Sauce Gardner, you have to remember the Lions are 40-something million under the cap, but they're projected to be 50 million over the cap next year. And that's guesstimated on the league revenue. So they can be 45 million over the cap, they can break even. So they trying to keep that 40 million to absorb that cap hit they hit next year. That way, they ain't got to cut too many people to have a solid football team. So you just don't, now, people might say just go for it and figure it out later. Philly figured it out. Philly was willing to trade for Michael Parsons and pay him. Why it didn't go through? Because they was in the same division and the hatred between Dallas and the Philadelphia Eagles. So most people live in there now, and a lot of people live in there now. They get their paycheck, let me reward myself. They're not worried about tomorrow. And those are the people that live to see tomorrow. 45, 50 years old, in debt, no credit, no college fund, saving funds for the children. So you got to always, in his position, look ahead, So right now, if he would have put a premium on durability, they wouldn't need to make a move. They will be a really good football team. But right now, you want to look at Reynolds, Trey Hendrickson. If you look at Kayvon Thibodeau, especially you're going to be looking to pick off the New York Giants, Dexter Lawrence. They talking about Sauce getting some heat out there in New York. Teams that's really underperforming. At this point, it's Kansas City lose to us and they go down. Maybe they're looking to get rid of a few pieces. Baltimore may be looking to get rid of a few pieces. Because they can always trade down in the draft and get more capital, or they, do stats. If I think they're going to come back, but I'm just throwing hypotheticals out there. Cleveland might start. They already giving away a few pieces. You know what I'm saying? Arizona, hey, they could be giving away a few pieces. New Orleans, you can go pick Cam Jordan or something like that. So that's the thing about it. Now you in a position where you don't put a premium on drafting guys with durability. Now you in a position where people want rentals. They want rentals, or they want quick fixes, or they want other guys because of the guys you targeted that you knew had deficiencies, and you a fast, physical, hard practicing football team. Now, you know what I'm saying? You like, now he's biting you in your ass. So obviously Terrion might be back a month, 8 weeks. Right now Dan said, it could be longer, it could be shorter. They don't know. They got to rehab. So you're really not rushing them back, because you think about a month. Look, if you can make it through, if you can somehow steal it from Kansas City, beat Tampa, beat Minnesota, I think you in a good position going to Washington and Philly. You can get Washington maybe, or get Philly, and then they really can take their time after that. New York, LA, Pittsburgh, LA and Pittsburgh, good games, but New York, so the really hard teams you probably got left is the Steelers, the Rams, and the Packers compared to the gauntlet that you ran on paper. So, is it time to think about rentals? I mean, yeah, especially if they going for the low. That's the question. If you got, problems on other teams or teams ready to turn it over, but, the turnover rate in the NFL is so hard. And if you can catch fire, you can turn things around. So, if I'm them, honestly, and I feel like we got a chance. And then, they got guys, you Terrion, if they feel like he can come back and DJ Reed, maybe you can hold the fort down. Outside of that, you got Pascal at some point should be coming back. So, so we'll see, man. But rentals are an option for them. But really, when you look at them drafting players that had injury histories, it's coming back to bite them in the ass. And when you look at the cap situation, if you don't win it, then it's like, So, check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live and drop video. Follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. I appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.